The movie starts with an interview with Dr. Jane Dunning, also known as the mother of neurosurgery, explaining the Aftermath Project and sharing that a few more experiments are needed to be able to understand exactly what they've uncovered. The scene then switches to a woman named Kate frantically packing her clothes, her laptop, and some papers into a backpack. She looks out of the window, then leaves her keys on a dresser and heads to her car. While driving, she gets a call from her company about a deadline she might miss for a project she's been working on for the past 5 years. Annoyed with the call, she tells the man not to call back because she never misses the deadline. She then reaches for her coffee, which she spills on the floor. Distracted by the mess she made, not looking at the road, she has an accident. She wakes up in the middle of a forest. She hears footsteps, and when she turns, she sees a military man standing there behind her. He raises his gun and shoots her. She wakes up again, and there's another military man standing behind her who says, "We knew you'd come," and she's shot again. They walk over to check to see if she's still alive. She grabs one of their weapons and shoots one of the men. The other soldier punches her in the face and picks up his weapon in an attempt to shoot her, but he is shot in the process. The man that terminated the soldier tells Kate to come with him or there'll be nothing left of her in the morning. Kate wants to know what's going on and what is this place, but he tells her if you don't want to get caught, we have to hurry. There's a hideout not too far from here that we can rest. He tells her he woke up in the forest also with a necklace and a picture in his pocket and tells her to check hers. She finds a picture of a man and a little girl. She then has a flashback of a little girl. The man asks her, "Are those pictures of your family?" But she doesn't know. She has another flashback of someone calling her name, and she remembers her name is Kate. He introduces himself as Booba. She asks if he has any memories, but he says, "Let's go, the hideout is not far from here." The commander arrives at the scene where the 2 soldiers were shot. He then takes a hologram call from his boss, who reminds him how important it is for them to capture this girl for the survival of this place. They arrive at the resting place, and Booba gives Kate some water. She has a lot of questions that he has no answers for. She then has a flashback of her and a man that seems to be her husband having an argument. Then a flashback of the car accident. She now remembers the collision. He says when he woke up there was a car that had front end damage, and she asks if he knows where the car is. He says yes, it's not too far from here. She wants to go and find the car, but he says he needs to stay to get more answers and gives her directions to where she can find it. While walking, she finds a small outpost. She goes through the supplies and finds water and a phone. She tries to make a phone call, but there's no signal. When she goes through the phone, she finds her own photos of her daughter. Just then, she hears a soldier approaching, and she hides. When he gets close enough to the outpost, she shoots him, takes his magazines and his clothing. Afterwards, she comes across soldiers lining up fugitives for execution. Then their commander takes another hologram call from his boss, who tells him they have to make a better effort to find this girl before she regains her memory. She removes her soldier disguise and arrives at a clearing that has a force field that she can't get through. Kate then has another flashback of her daughter's drawings. She drops her pictures as she's leaving. The soldiers show up and find them, and the commander says he knows where she's going. Kate arrives at an old house being scanned by a drone. When the drone leaves, she enters. She goes upstairs and runs into Booba, who saves her from a soldier that was behind her. But there was a soldier coming from the other direction who shoots Booba and is taken out by Kate. Booba tells her not to worry about him and that the way out is somewhere down that way. Kate leaves and takes out a few soldiers along the way. Then she gets to a corridor that looks like one of her daughter's drawings, with a laptop playing Dr. June Dunning's interview, where she explains that her medical breakthroughs allow coma patients to live life in their heads while their bodies are dormant. She then has a happy family flashback, then one with her and her husband having an argument about her working so hard that she's never home. We also see the projects that she was working on were design drawings of soldiers, the same ones that have been chasing her. She then flashes back to the accident. 4 people died in the other car, but it seems as though the faces of the 4 medics that pulled her from the accidents are the same ones that were executed in the field of her mind. The medics revived her 3 times. Those were also the times she was shot and awakened in the forest. She hears a voice that says, "Wake up, Kate," and turns to see the soldiers in the same room with her. We switch to the hospital and see that Kate is in a coma. She knows this now. She's beginning to wake up. She racks her weapon and the soldiers open fire, but the bullets have no effect on her. Then she shoots all of the soldiers. She goes outside and crosses a small bridge and fades away. We switch to the hospital where she almost opens her eyes, and then we're at a house in the country where Kate is washing dishes. Her husband comes home, but she's feeling uneasy. She remembers the doctor saying in her interview that it's best when you take a coma patient's mind and put it in a familiar surrounding. But Kate understands what's going on, and she wants to know what happened to her body. Why is she in this place now? He says they warned him that this day might come. He tells her Dr. Booba Edwards and his wife have been supervising this medical procedure, the same Booba that's been helping her fight the soldiers. He says they're in a third phase of this experiment. She says, "What happened to me?" He tells her she woke up from the coma, but her condition rapidly worsened, so they had to put her back on the machine. And they've been able to make him part of the simulation in her mind for all these years. He tells her she's been in a coma for 21 years. Her daughter's grown up and they have a grandson. She says, "Tell Dr. Edwards she's forever in his debt, but it's time for him to let her go." She begs her husband to take her out of the simulation and let her die. We then switch back to the hospital and see Peter's 21 years older. He exits the simulation and reluctantly cuts the life support system off as Kate walks into the light.